Hello and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My channel is Frosty XStitch. My name is Dawn. As most of you would say, take 4. I'm going to start this again. Okay, I just wanted to say that I've been MIA of Flosstube. I just in the summer it's really difficult for me to put out Flosstubes because when the heat is hot I can't film. I literally can't film. Sometimes I can't even stitch. But heat in the middle of town is just, it gets out of hand and you don't want to see a sweaty, miserable Dawn. Well, you don't want to see a miserable Dawn anyway. But just sort of to start the whole thing, Happy New Year everybody. I hope that you started well into the new year, and I know that lots of people did not. But I will not go into that because this should be a happy place and a place where I don't talk politics or natural disasters or anything. So yeah, I gained a lot of subscribers, but unfortunately I've noticed that even though I get a lot of subscribers, the subscribers are not the ones watching me. I have a handful of subscribers that I've had for a very long time, who have followed me for a long time, and I follow them, and they are all over the world. So you know who you are, you know who, if you're one of my Flosstube friends or just cross-stitch friends from all over the world, if you're one of those, you know who you are. Thank you very much for being there, for watching my videos, for commenting on my videos, and just for being there, for putting your own videos out if you do, or just commenting, or when you see me on Facebook or Instagram and you just leave me a heart. Thank you to all of you. If you're following me, if you've subscribed to my channel and you don't watch, please unsubscribe. If you do watch my channels, and I do try and do it in English and one in German, so if you watch one of those, then please subscribe and hit the bell, because I'm not going to be out weekly, so you can't just go on Dawn will always put out a video on Saturday. It won't be like that. But hit the bell and you'll get a notification when the Flosstube comes out and you can watch it. It doesn't matter if you watch it immediately or half a year later. But if you don't watch me, don't subscribe. It's just, I don't need to reach 1,000 subscribers. There's no way I would monetize my channel. I will never monetize my channel. So I don't need 1,000 subscribers. I only need the people watching me who want to see me and my projects. I'm just putting that out there. Because last summer I had a Flosstube anniversary. I've been doing this for some time, even though I had a whole year where I didn't do any Flosstubes, and now I've had a half a year of no Flosstubes, so I don't know if I should call it an anniversary or not. It doesn't matter, but I have got a giveaway for it. I've got 2 of the same patterns. One will be given away on the German channel, one on this one. Unfortunately I have a whole pile of stuff here and I don't know where it is. So I'll get to it and I'll tell you then what you need to do to enter the giveaway. Yeah, I made a list of Stitchy acronyms because I noticed that a lot of newer stitchers or stitchers who are coming into the cross-stitch community who, like, I'm trying to find more and more Swiss cross-stitchers, and I've noticed that Swiss cross-stitchers, lots of them are just not on social media. I wish I could leave social media. I can't. There's reasons for that. If you're interested I can talk about it, but I'm not doing that here now. So I've noticed that a lot of people don't know, you know, we know a WIP is a work in progress. A PIP is a project in progress. I know that PIP is also used by 2 new Flosstubers. Well, one of them's a Flosstuber. They both came to StitchBasel 2024, and they use PIP as something else. I can't remember what it is. I literally can't remember. But I've done a sort of list where you can see the acronym, and then you see the English description and a German description, because a lot of people don't speak English, therefore they don't watch Flosstube, or not the English Flosstube, so they don't know what the acronyms mean. So I've just done that. I've put it on my drive. I will link it below, and you can literally use that. You can link to it, you can update it, you can comment on it, you can copy it, use it for yourself, put it on your channel, put it on your drive. If there's something missing, update it or leave a comment. Literally use that document, because the more people that fill that document, the more information gets out there and people can see it. Link it in groups or copy it and send it to somebody who maybe only has email and is not on Facebook, whatever. Just use it. I'll link it below. Yeah, we had StitchBasel Lite in 2024 in September, and unfortunately it had to be the weekend of my 50th birthday. I didn't want to do it on that weekend, but I had no choice. So it was a StitchBasel Lite, because it was mainly me organising it with then the help of some others. And JBW Design came, which is really nice. Yukus and Tibor, having them there, it's just, those two are, the way they work together, it's amazing. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing, because they come and stitch with us and they also sell. So they sell fabric. So, you know, you can buy from them and you can actually, you know, have it in your hands. I've got some here then to show you. Yeah, so we had people from all over, and it was amazing. And I think we had something like 17 people from Switzerland, which really, that was so good to see, you know, Swiss people. I didn't have very much time. I was 3 days, I was just talking to people. This time I actually got my stitching out. I didn't put any stitches in, but I got my stitching out, and I was just talking to people. I was literally sitting down and talking to people, and it was so good. It really opened my heart. It was so nice to see people again, or people that I've known virtually through Instagram, Facebook, wherever, social media, and to just see them and go like, oh! And we did a surprise, because yeah, it was my 50th birthday on Saturday, and they actually sang happy birthday to me, which is really embarrassing if you have like 50, 60 people singing for you. But it was also really, really nice, because they all signed the card. Some of them actually gave me presents, like really lovely presents. So to everybody who was there and wished me happy birthday, gave me a card, gave me a present, thank you so much. It's really so much appreciated. If I would have done a Flosstube after the event, I would have shown the love that you showed me on that day. I would have shown that in a Flosstube, but unfortunately I couldn't. I was not in a state to do that. But we also had Mike, who turned 40 the day after. She announced that on Instagram, so it's not news. Sorry, you usually don't say how old somebody is, but she had the 40th birthday on Sunday, and Maeve, who is one of her better friends, one of her best friends, decided that she would come and surprise her if that would be okay. She only decided a few weeks before, so she contacted me and we kept it quiet, and yeah, she came as a happy birthday present for darling Bluebell, and it was just so much fun to get, you know, don't tell anybody. I think that was quite a good surprise. And two others also had a birthday on Sunday, so we sang for all of them, and I think it's just something really nice, something special. In the video before this, you can see there's a StitchBasel compilation. All the pictures that I took or videos that I took on my phone are mixed together. It took me ages to do, like 3 days or something. So the photos are all in different formats and the videos are in different lengths and whatever. It's not very well made, but I put it out there. So it's just about 9 minutes long if you want to sort of see what happened. But I have to say that those 3 days, they gave me so much, because the organisation, there wasn't that much to organise because it was a light version, but it gave me the 3 days of having these people come up and smile at me and talk to me and tell me how fantastic it is that I'm doing this for the whole of Europe so that people can meet up. Was just wonderful, and I got so many hugs, and it really it filled my heart. It was absolutely amazing, and I wish that Flosstube friends that I've made years ago that also watch my Flosstubes, always watch my Flosstubes. I watch their Flosstubes. I wish they could all come. That would make me really happy, but I know that a lot of them live too far away. It's a money issue. It's also, you know, circumstances, life. So I know that's not possible, but it would be good to have more events like this in Europe. I think there's something planned in Germany 2026. I'll just be doing StitchBasel in September. So yeah, so we were going to do a StitchBasel 2025, and it would have been a retreat, a big retreat, as in we would have been in the same room as we were this year. We would have had a certain amount of spaces, and we already had sponsors that had already asked if they could sponsor. We already had a list of who we also wanted to ask if they would sponsor. I had 2 people or 3 people who would have done a free pattern for us, a retreat pattern. Vendors, we wanted more vendors. We were going to do a few more events. If you come to a retreat, you don't have to take part in any of the events. If you don't want to, well, it would be nice if you would take part in a group photo. You can sort of hide behind somebody if you really don't want to be in a group photo, but I think that's the only event that you should take part in. All the other events you can leave out. You don't have to do the smalls exchange, you don't have to do anything. You can come in, you can sit down, you can put your head down and stitch. It would be nice if we would talk to people. There's coffee, tea, mineral water, and we are in the middle of town centre, so if you're hungry, you walk out. There's restaurants, cafes, food shops, you're in town centre. But you can just come and just stitch. That's the only thing you need to do. But we had planned that, yeah, there would be some events. There would have been workshops. I already had people who said they would like to do a workshop. Actually do a workshop. And we started planning and things happened. Lots of people said I should have just said that StitchBasel 2025 was cancelled due to organisational difficulties. That's not true, and it would have been a lie. And I know that when you say organisational difficulties, then people think, okay, there were problems between the people organising this. While yes, partly true, that's not the whole story. And the reason I had to cancel was my mental health. It was literally my mental health, and that's why StitchBasel 2025 was cancelled. And I knew that if I wouldn't do something in September 2025, this year, then the StitchBasel brand retreats would die. And I felt like it was like cutting off my arm, and I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't let StitchBasel die. I went through something, and I don't wish that for anybody. But I had a very long talk with my family, and I cut down StitchBasel to the even further down than a StitchBasel Lite. It's now just, it's a come and stitch with me for 3 days. I've got the room, I've got 2 coffee machines, I have an electric kettle, I've got coffee, I've got enough coffee for I think another 3 StitchBasels, I have tea for another 3 StitchBasels, which I'll offer for you. I will organise that the tables are set out. There will be a brag wall, good brag wall, brag table, and there will be vendors. Now XStitch Design, they're coming. So Yukos and Tibor signed up, they're going to come. So that's a full-on definite. They're coming. There are some other vendors who have signed up, but they need to work a few things out, and that's fine. I will know in spring if they're coming or not. I might ask some other people, I might not, I don't know. Basically, there is no retreat fee. You can sign up. I have a limit of how many people I can allow into the room. I'm nearly there. You can just sign up and cancel anytime because you're not paying a fee. You can cancel anytime. But I hope that when you sign up that you come. If you can't come, that you cancel so that I can put people on a wait list and so they can come. And then you can just come and stitch with me. And like I said, the room's there, coffee, tea, and if you walk out, you can go and buy your own food, and you don't have to pay for anything. And it would be really nice if people would come and just stitch with me. And I promised, who did I promise? Mia Stitches. I promised her that, what did we say? We had something going where she said if she does that, then I have to stitch at least 10 stitches. And that's still on. So that's still on. I'm going to do at least 10 stitches. But somehow I have the feeling because I'm not organising anything else, I have the organisation before and afterwards, but during the event I'm not doing anything. I'm not even washing up any coffee cups. You have to wash them up yourself. I'm going to put in more than 10 stitches. I also have a bet going on with Tibor. Tibor, in case you're watching this, how is your sewing coming? Anyway, so all information about StitchBasel Lite, or what this one's called is XStitch Days Basel. It's basically StitchBasel 2025. It's just not a retreat as in goodies and stuff. I'm not giving out any goodies. I don't have any sponsors. If vendors want to sponsor me, fine, I'll happily take it. But I'm not going begging. I'm not going asking. I'm not organising anything. But you find all the information in a link tree, which I'll post in here, on the Instagram or Facebook page. Both are StitchBasel. Yeah, then to something else. Let's see. Oh, I'm already 20 minutes in and no stitching shown. I joined a SAL this year. At the beginning of the year, I joined a Zoom. I can't remember how I stumbled across it. I think I joined in. I don't think I joined in January. I must have joined in February. And it's this small group of about 6 to 8 people who once a month do a Zoom call. No, they're nearly all British, and I joined, and it was like, hello, who are you? And it was really nice. And they came up, and they all were talking about this advent calendar that they always do. Now, they are Stitchfinity, and apparently they always do this mystery advent calendar. I'll get to that just after this. And it's always a mystery, and it's so much fun, and it's these people who are in there, they enjoy it, and it's lovely, and they have to join and whatever. And I mean, it was February, so yeah. They then came and said, okay, we're starting a SAL. We have a SAL, it's going to start. It's going to be a bit of a different SAL. So that was like, okay, what's this? Now, the SAL was called Make It Happen. Now, what does that mean? If there's something in your life, it can be something as small as, I don't know how I can find enough time to read a book. I need to cut out time in my life so that I can read a book. One book a month. Or it could be something like, I need to find a new job. The job I'm in is not working. It can be anything. And a SAL is for something like that. Now, I joined this because I had a few things in my life that I wanted to change, and I already knew I wanted to change this. I already had that, but I didn't know how to go about it. I sort of had ideas, but it didn't work. So I joined this SAL, and it really helped me. I think it was 7 months. Was it 7 months? I think it was. Yeah, oh, I haven't got nothing here to show. Yeah, so of course we got the SAL, so you have something to stitch. I'm not going to show that because they're doing this SAL again. It's going to happen again in 2025, and it's called Make It Happen SAL. Now, there's 2 options this year. So I would have chosen the other option, but it wasn't open. So it's basically a SAL where you get 7 patterns, every month a pattern to stitch, and it goes the same. But you also get worksheets. So once a month you get your pattern and you get your worksheets. So you can read through the worksheets, you can start filling them in, and then a few days later you actually have a Zoom meeting where you can take part. And that is when Alison and Annie, they explain what, their thought process, because they did this for themselves. They knew that they have to change the way that they work as Stitchfinity, as a company, as a cross-stitch company. They need to change that, and they didn't quite know how to, so they actually did these steps. And during these calls, when you read, okay, now I need to write what my wish is or what I want to change. That was more or less pretty easy because I already knew what I wanted to change. For others, this was difficult. But then there were others that I didn't quite understand. What do you want me to write there? And Annie had really good examples. Yeah, the red dress, Annie, the red dress. But so there would be an example, and it would be really a visual example so that you would know what do I need for my things to write in there. And you get time during these calls. They get recorded so the people who can't take part can watch it later on. And at the end of this, they explain how they used this part for their journey, and sort of getting this, that they used this process of working to change stuff was so good, and it really helped me. It helped me so much. So they're going to have the 2 options. One of the options is stitching and the worksheets with the calls, and the other one is where the stitching is just a sort of, if you want the stitching time, when you it sort of meant that you take the worksheet, you start filling it in, and then when you get stuck, you stitch. and then you sort of, your brain should be working and you should be taking that time to then process this. Now, I was not interested in stitching this. I did the first, I'm not even finished on the first part. So if the stitching is not that important to you, so if you're a business or if you're something, you don't want to stitch the SAL, then you can join the other part where you just get the worksheets. You still have the Zoom meetings and all of that, and it's really, really good. And I can recommend it to anybody who wants to just change the tiniest thing in their life. It just gives you sort of tools to work with. And both of them, Annie and Alison, they have a lot of knowledge, and they've done, like I say, they use this in their daily life, and it works for them, and it worked for me. So I'm an affiliate, so if you tell them that you heard about this from me, I get a tiny percentage if you join. But you can join without giving my name. I don't need it's fine if you don't give my name, but you join anyway. I think it's especially interesting for maybe cross-stitch designers or cross-stitch shops that are not quite there where they want to be yet. Anyway, yeah, so then the big advent calendar came along, and everybody on these Zoom calls was going, oh, your advent calendar, when is it coming out? And it's a mystery. The advent calendar is a mystery SAL. I don't like mystery SALs. I don't know, if I don't know what it's going to be, I don't want to stitch it. Because it might be something I don't like to stitch. I don't like it being a mystery, and I know that you have to every day work on it. Now, if somebody tells me, Dawn, you have to work on this day, it's usually, okay. And then on a day it's like, I'm not stitching on this. But I actually did. I stuck with it. Okay, already on the first day, it was too much for the first day. I couldn't finish on the first day, so it took me the first 3 days to do the first part. But you get little tidbits here and there, so you're all over the place. You have no idea what you're stitching. And I think the first, 15 or 18 days, we had no idea where this was going. We stitched on plastic canvas. We stitched on sort of plastic perforated thingy on other material. But by that time, they gave spoilers. So then I knew what we're doing. But that was just because I was way behind. So you join a secret Facebook group. You're not allowed to post what you're stitching, because people like me are way behind, should not see what's already out there. And the people who joined are so amazing, and it was such a great community. And Annie and Alison, they really get stuck in, and Alison was on Facebook for the whole of December up until the 24th. She was on there. She was on Facebook all the time, whereas during the year she's, on Facebook sometimes. She was there constantly checking and seeing and whatever. And the best part about it, actually I can show you. Don't know why I'm not doing that. For me, the best part, when I opened my first, you get a box. Now, of course, yeah, it's an advent calendar box. I bought an older one because I really like that one, and I saw it, so I had to get that. That's not a mystery. But you get this lovely box, and it's full of envelopes. And each envelope then has, sort of description of what we're doing today. And then there's a bit of a pattern that you have to stitch. And you always get all you get all the information. It's also on every pattern you will get the information, like where you can ask questions if you have questions. That's all there. But the best part, which I of course didn't know until I opened on the 1st of December, on the back there's always a crack joke. I'm a sucker for cracker jokes. So this was number 18 because this told me how to take this, it's sort of plastic perforated blue stuff that we had to stitch on here. This is a napkin or a serviette. So you know, it's massive, and so we had to put this blue stuff on here. Either you attach it by stitching it on, or if you use hoops, you need a small hoop to put over it. Well, I don't have hoops and the stitching method didn't work, so I just used pins. Just put pins in there and stuck it there. This of course takes longer to stitch than when if on perforated paper it was easier to stitch than this was. But so you stitch it on this, and here it tells you how to get rid of this blue stuff. You sort of have to soak it in warm water and then it sort of comes off. Yeah, so you always get instructions on there, but of course on this day lots of people didn't know what it was, and that was when we had the Zoom call and everybody was talking about these napkins. So then of course I knew that these plastic canvas things that I was stitching long strips of, I knew the first one was Joy. That was pretty easy. We started with Joy. That these are Christmas cards. We only found that out when the back stitch came. Yeah, and we made them into round things. So these are napkin rings. So we have the Joy, we have Peace, Love, and Wonder. And of course we had the words then at one time, but then we didn't know that we'll have, this is Wonder, Love, where is this? This is Peace, that's the candle, and this is, yeah, this is Joy. And I like that they made it a stamp with, I just love that. Of course I didn't finish, I finished it on a Zoom call for the 12 for 12 on New Year's Eve with Sandy, who does the Zoom call, and Shelley XStitch was on it, and Kim, the contended stitcher, and there were so many others on there, and it was a really good evening. Well, for me it was an evening, for them it was morning, and I finished these on that call. So I finished it this year and it was absolutely fantastic. So I'm already now waiting for the sign up for the Stitchfinity Advent Calendar 2025. And yeah, if you say that you came through me, I'll get a percentage. Just saying. Not that you have to join or anything, but they're actually a really good bunch, and working with them and having the Zoom calls and the people who join, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. I loved every minute of it. Oh yeah, and the cracker joke, of course. What do you call a deer without an umbrella? A reindeer. I'm sorry, but some of the jokes, there were two jokes that I was sort of, for one, I don't get it and it's not funny, until like, you know, 8 hours later in front of the TV, it suddenly goes like, oh my god, that is so bad, that joke is so bad, it's so funny. It's so bad, it's so funny. It's like that jokes that just either you like them or you hate them. I love them. So the cracker jokes, they made my day. That was my advent calendar, definitely. And then the stitching was just the icing on the cake. Anyway, let's take a short break. Okay, now I've talked for I don't know how long. Let's get to whips, finishes, stitching, basically, stitching. Okay, I think I showed in my last Flosstube, I showed that I was stitching Eilean Donan Castle. I finished that, so I'll show you a picture of that here because it was finished, framed and gifted. It was a kit that I stitched and I gave it away afterwards to Pauline. She's the one who does sells project bags on Instagram, and she said she would really like to stitch it, so I just sent it to her, and she actually sent me a project bag as a thank you. Of course, because I haven't filmed for so long, no, it's actually here, I think. Okay, if I'm doing strange movements, that is because I've hurt my back, and yes, it still hurts. So, let's see. Yeah, here it is. I knew I kept it. So she sent me a beautiful card, just as a thank you, you know, that I sent her this. So I haven't used it yet, but isn't this perfect for me? With all the teapots and the birds, and I absolutely love it. Now I can use it. Not that I haven't started using all my other presents, but somehow this was stuck in a pile of, yeah, things that, you know, sorry, you know, things that you have that you want to show in your floss tube, and some people have a box and others have a basket and whatever, and they just put stuff in, and I had that, and yeah, so that was in there for 3/4 of a year. Now I can use it. Yeah, this is for what I was talking about before. This was the Stitchfinity Make It Happen SAL for 2024. And I can recommend this. If there's anything you want to change, if it's small, if it's big, it doesn't matter, join this. And like I said, there's 2 options. It really helped me. It was so good. Okay, that was the castle. I hope you saw that. Then I worked on, I think I won't go by, I'll just have to tick them off if I've shown them. I have to go by what I find. Yeah, I finished this. This was, it's called Squirrel, and it's by JBW Designs. I finished this actually a few months ago because it's for my brother and his birthday. And yes, no, I have not gifted it yet. Yes, I know, but that's because his birthday is on, yeah, his birthday is only coming up. But I need to frame it. I'm really not sure how to frame it. I think I'll use probably a very light wooden frame for this. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be okay. Then I'm stitching on White Deer, which is a pattern from the Snowflower Diaries. I think a lot of you have already seen the pattern. Sorry. Oh, there's actually, okay, people out there. This is, I'm not going to show you my working copy, of course, but yeah, this is my colour choice for it. I should actually hold this in this side, shouldn't I? I chose, this is actually, it looks more blue, but it's the fabric is jade. It doesn't really look like jade on camera, and the floss I'm using is a Mosaic floss, and it's called Dasher, which I actually think is quite fitting, even though it, yeah. This is by the Snowflower Diaries. You can find this pattern on her Etsy shop, and I really like it, and I enjoy stitching on it. But I have to stitch on it during the daytime because it's over dyed fabric. I can't actually see the holes that well, so it's a bit difficult. But it's okay. Oh yeah, this is I got this just the other day. That's why somehow it's in that pile. Also, get the bead packs because there's 3 charms in there, and if you buy them as 3 charms, you pay 22 Swiss francs just for these 3 charms. If you buy the bead pack, you pay a lot less. So just putting that out there. Like I said, I bought the Stitchfinity Crossstitch Advent Calendar 2023? No, 22. Yeah. But I'm going to show that when I start it, which is not now. I was gifted, because it was my 50th birthday, by XQ Design. Because because it was, you know, a light version of a retreat. They only brought what they could bring in hand luggage. So your cousin Tibor gifted me all the lilacs, purples they had in their stash with them in 18 count for me. I don't think you can actually see it very well, but I couldn't buy from them because they gifted it to me as my 50th birthday present, which is so nice. They're nice people anyway, so yeah. Then I bought loads of patterns, and I think most of these patterns are not really of interest to you anyway. The kit I bought, I've got Santa's house and Santa's castle. No, Santa's house and the castle, and I've also got the tree house, and I've got the Tudor house, the last one. That came, I think, yesterday. Yeah. Let's see, what's this? I have all sorts of surprises coming up here. Oh yeah, I won a giveaway on Wiki Stitch and Buttons Flosstube. It's for one of these black swan designs, because somebody put a black swan design on a freebie table in 2023. I actually really liked it, so I won that, and she could add some of my other things that I had ordered through her in with that, so that was good. What else have I got? See, it's just a real model, and I'm making a huge mess, as one does. Oh my god. Okay. I don't think this actually should all be here, because actually I would be showing whips and finishes. So this doesn't belong. This. Oh yeah, here. Look, I have a small, something small in there. But these do not belong. Oh yeah. And these do not belong. I'm really sorry. I bought a few patterns. I bought more than just patterns like this. I've got so many. Oh yeah, I joined a Jingle Ball this year and bought PDF patterns from the Jingle Ball. Not that I actually really need any more patterns. I have so many patterns to stitch, and the Jingle Ball was... I didn't join a Jingle Ball before because I had the feeling it's more for cross stitchers in the US, even though, you know, they say that it's 24/7 and you can join. And I know that Caroline, it's Caroline Stitching Corner, I think. She's got a Flosstube. Alex, she's I think Salex on Instagram, and then the Soul Stitchers, Marianne and Fanny. They sort of met, I think, on the Jingle Ball or one of these Lindy Stitches virtual events, and they got to know each other, and then they all came to StitchBasel where they met in real life, and they said it was amazing. They met in one of these groups, and so I thought, okay, I'll join and I'll see what it's like. It's only, what is it, $10 to join if you don't take any classes. So I did that, but because I don't stitch prim, I don't stitch a lot of what these people stitch, the designers who had classes, so the classes were of no interest to me. And whenever I sort of hopped on to see who's online, I would join these groups, these different sort of like breakout groups. They were always empty, or there was like one person in there or two people. On the international one, I knew all the people because I've been on other Zooms with them, so I already know the international ones, and it just, yeah, so it was a bit of a shame and a bit of a letdown, but I think it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. And yeah, if you don't like being on Zoom calls where you have to talk and whatever, just join there, and you get, you know, you get to see, there's a 7-hour program that just runs and runs. I think it's pre-recorded, and you can join these workshops that they have, and they're definitely good, but it's not for me. So I joined. I won't do that again, probably, unless I know that certain people are going to join that I otherwise wouldn't see. So overseas people. Anyway, so I won't show you the PDF patterns that I got, because I show them if I start them, when I start them. So I had this, I think I showed you that I was doing that, and it's actually fully finished. So that's a coaster. That was actually meant to be a Christmas present for somebody. Finished it so early and then put it in this thing that, of course, yeah, somehow it got lost, didn't it? And I think, oh yeah, and then I had Stitchfinity did send us little business cards with a QR code for a tiny little pattern for StitchBasel, for StitchBasel Lite, and I stitched it up. I don't know how many greens are in there, but it was actually quite lovely just to stitch this. Pretty mindless stitching, and I actually quite like it. Nice and small, make a lovely gift. Something for the Smalls Exchange. We're not doing a Smalls Exchange this year, or might not be doing a Smalls Exchange this year. Who knows? We'll find out. Oh yeah, I got the Chubby Bunny and the Chubby Squirrel, and this is one, I think it was the Soul Stitchers. I think it was Fanny who showed this, and this is one that just it just spoke to me, so I had to have that. That was, yeah, and I think this is the giveaway. Yes. I don't know if you know, but there's a Flosstube. I don't know how many Flosstubes she's done. Not that many, I don't think. But she's on Instagram as the Cotton Worm, and she has, yeah, it's the Cotton Worm, and she's in Spain, and she has an online store. And so I started a SAL with Shelley, and I didn't have the pattern. There you go. Shelley, this is the Prairie Schooler Santa Rides. Now I've got my pattern and I've got two. One I'm going to give away on this English Flosstube, and one I will be giving away on my German Flosstube. So Shelley contacted me, Shelley KXStitch, or It's Only Stitching on Flosstube, and she said, "Hey Don, I'm starting one of these, I'm already stitching one of these, but I'm going to start to train. Do you want to join me?" I said, "Yeah, of course I want to join you." So she sent me just the X out of the pattern, so I had to go in hunt of this pattern so that I could actually legally stitch it. I have it now. And I decided to order it so that I can do this as a giveaway for my Flosstube anniversary in summer, which never happened. Well, I didn't do the giveaway, I didn't do a Flosstube. So I did the train with her, and we started together. We were on WhatsApp, and it was like, I'm going to switch this color to this color, and I'm going to do this with this, and I'm going to do this and that, whatever, and let's start now. And we both started, and then we must have both stitched a bit on it, but then left it. And then on the New Year Zoom call, the 12 by 12, when I finished my Advent calendar, they said, "Well, Dawn, what are you going to stitch now for the next hour?" Because they switched and they started something new every hour, or just switched whips. I didn't, I just stitched on my Advent calendar and then I was finished. So I just took some time and said I just sort my floss and whatever, get that ready, and then I'll stitch on the SAL that I'm doing with Shelley. And so she had time then to switch to the same project, so we were both stitching on this. And yeah, my dad was in hospital, and I finished this one night and then put it in my letterbox, and my mum picked it up when she was on her way to go in and see my dad, and she took it to him so that he got a little present from me while he was in hospital. So if you want to win this, yes, please reply with the one that I've stitched from this pattern. I'll show it now. So I just need the word, or you can put it in a sentence or whatever. Or you can say, you stitched the SAL with Shelley and you stitched. You can do it however you like, I'll find you. Yeah, so my dad, he really loved it, and he's back home now. He's not better, but we'll see. So while I'm showing you pictures, I did stitch something that I was going to use for the Smolts exchange for StitchBasel 2024, but the colours, somehow I couldn't get my stitches to be neat, and it's really strange. Usually you have that with black or white. I had it with different reds, and I just couldn't get these stitches to be neat. I just didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't a fabric, it wasn't a needle, I literally don't know what it was. So I stitched it, I finished it, and I gifted it to my mum because she loves robins. I know, you do too, Sally. You would have been the next person on the list to receive it, but my mum got there first somehow. So I quickly show what it looks like. I just couldn't, if you see it like this, it's fine. For my mum it's fine, because I mean her eyesight is going anyway, so you know, and she's not a stitcher, so she doesn't really care if the stitches are all neat or not. I just knew I couldn't gift this to another stitcher. I don't know. So because I couldn't stitch the robin or gift the robin for the Smolts exchange, I then had to stitch something else. And I think it's called Snowy Winter, and it's by StoneStreetStitchworks. they have lots of free patterns. I've got one up there that's a sort of wintry scene and it's up all year round. And I really love this one. And I hadn't stitched it yet. And I found this perfect frame there's a German store called Stickstoff. And they have a frame where you take it all apart and then you just put your stitching in there and you put it all together and then you sew the frame closed. You can see it. It's fantastic. Perfect frame. Absolute perfect size. I love it. Yeah. I hope you could see how this was stitched. Unfortunately, I don't think the person who got my Smolts exchange gift was very happy with it. Can't be helped. If she's thrown it away, I don't care. Yeah, so yeah, my address is on there, but you can see this is from Hillside Rockery, and Shelley sent me this for my sort of 50th birthday gift, because me and Olivia B on Flosstube, she has Hillside Rockery as her shop, and she shows unboxings when she gets a whole box from Richard, Hirschner's, wherever. She just shows what she gets, and it's usually samplers and primitive and whatever, and I love watching it. I really enjoy watching it, and it's always like, yeah, but sorry, I don't stitch stuff like that. And she said, oh, one day I'll wear you down, Dawn. One day you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you'll go like, I need a sampler from Hillside Rockery. Well, actually, it did happen that I saw in one of our unboxing videos, I saw two patterns that I really liked, and one of them I knew I could get somewhere, but the other one, I wasn't so sure. And I told Shelley. I just told her because, you know, I talked to her and a lot and whatever. And then I get this package from Hillside Rockery, and there was a note in there as well from Olivia saying, I wore you down, didn't I? So yeah, so this is one of them, of course, Squirrels. Sorry, light. And this is the one that I knew I would have difficulty getting this, and I don't know, I'm just in love with this piece. I don't know why. This is really just absolutely fantastic. So thank you, Shelley. Now I have to start stitching on them. Oh no, oops, put them back in properly, and well, actually get them out of this stuff and put them away would be maybe better. What have we got? Yeah, this is, see, these are the bags from Pauline on Instagram, and she usually does it on a Friday evening. It's not every Friday evening, but yeah, I'm doing a SAL with Stitchy Mama. That's not Stitching Mummy in California, this is Stitchy Mama in Germany, and she's been to both of the StitchBasels. She will not be coming in 2025, and I had this in my stash, and she did, because she also turned 50 this year. Oh, well, sorry, last year in 2024. So she decided, like Flossie Sews and Grows and Sew Me Sarah, they both turned 50 and they did 50 new starts. So she decided to also do 50 new starts, and one of them was this. So I joined her on it. I didn't get very far because it's, I mean, I started in the middle, and it's already got beads in it and stuff, and I joined her in starting, but then somehow never got back to it. But it's on my list. I know it's there, and I want to get back to it, but I have a few other projects that I need to finish first, I think. So what else have we got? Oh yeah, this was also a SAL with a Swiss stitcher, and it's Nora's Christmas elf fairy. This is beautiful. So many people have stitched her just now, recently. Where's my stitch piece? Here. I got actually quite far, and oh, I know why I had to stop. I had to stop because I was stitching on my advent calendar, and then that took away all my time. So she didn't get finished. Even though, yeah, I have the wings and the hair, and there's whisper thread in there, but I've already put beads in, and the cry neck and beads in tree, because I bead and I backstitch as I go. But whisper thread is something I'd probably do last, but that's okay. Yeah, so I was doing the advent calendar, so I didn't really get around to finishing this one, which is a bit of a shame because it's not that much to stitch. Yeah, one of the stitches that I use a lot for Zoom calls is this JBW Designs Floral Alphabet, and this was a SAL with Caroline, Stitch, and Stitching Mummy, Sarah, joined as well, and this was for Caroline's birthday, so we all started on Caroline's birthday. But as you can see, it's got the alphabet, and it's got sort of floral designs in it. So they chose to do the alphabet in one colour and the floral in different colours, and I think Stitching Mummy is also doing the floral green and flowers pink. I chose to use the Colourfever special dyed floss for StitchBasel that we all got in our goodie bags, and I used this, and it's highly variegated, and I'm stitching this on a sort of green coloured fabric. And it's sometimes when you stitch with variegated floss, it's difficult to know, you know, oh, I've already stitched blue, shall I continue with blue or should I fuzzy cut? But in the end it really doesn't matter, and it looks really good. I really like it. So yeah, I use this a lot on Zoom calls, because it's just, you have just one floss that you use. And by the way, I have so many bags from Frog and Fudge, because she came and sold bags at StitchBasel. It was fantastic. Then my birthday start, I don't think I've shown you this yet. The birthday start, me and Sarah, because we both have birthdays in September, we start usually the same project. This year it was different because she had chosen, I don't quite know why, she had two options that she was going for, and I said I could choose something similar with like the similar colorway or similar motif or whatever, but I didn't want to do another full coverage or really big picture. And in the end I said that I have this, and I bought this I think when it came out because everybody was stitching it and I really loved it, and I really liked the conversion that Eilean did, that's Olivia B's sister, in San Francisco. If you're in San Francisco, go to the Fillmore Bake Shop, please. Say hello to Eleanor. You can say hello from Frosty XStitch, she knows who I am. But they're baked goods, they look so good, and I know that she was trained in Switzerland, so she was trained with Swiss chocolate, so she really knows what's good. So if you need a sweet treat and you're in San Francisco, go to the Fillmore Bake Shop, definitely, please, and say hello from me. Anyway, she took these sort of muted colours, which should be pink and blue, and made them really dark. She wrote where there are bears. I'm still going to write where there are bees, but I took the colours that she chose and I'm stitching them like that. So I chose this, and then that way Sarah could choose the pattern that she had with two it's basically a large flower, and it has 2 massive bees on it, and that's why she then chose to stitch that one. So we started on the same day with stitching, but in different projects, and I didn't really get back to working on it because I think she had it in her whip go, or was it was one of these Caroline, I think it was, I can't remember what it was, AB Zingo or something, where sort of one of these boards. So that told her when to stitch on it. And I was busy in September with StitchBasel, so I didn't get to stitch on it very much. So this is as far as I am. But I like the dark colours. The gold yellow is a sulky, and the others are DMC. I need to get this out again. I miss this. And I think there's 2 more things to show, and then we should be finished. Oh no, there's actually more. I forgot. Hang on. At the moment I need some mindless stitching, and I don't want to okay, I will unroll it. This is Shannon Christine Designs, and it's called Lace, Roses and Lace, or Lace and Roses, and I'm at 60% now. So yeah, I'm doing the outside, so you could choose if you could do the lacing in black or the lacing in white, and I couldn't choose, so I did it in grey. And there's the 2 roses, but there's going to be a rose there in the middle, in this thing here, and there's going to be another rose there, and yeah, I think I'm at not quite 60%, but I'm really enjoying this because it's on Pattern Keeper, so it's really easy to follow. Yeah, so what happened is that you know that Arts and Heaven and Earth Designs, this was one of my and me and Stitching Mummy, we started Tea and Books. This is from Bridget Ashwood, is the artist, and this was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I took the mini. Sarah took the regular size because she wants to have all the details. Yeah, let's just say that usually we go with, you know, trust the progress, the process, stitch it and it will look good. Unfortunately, yeah, there were lots of, let's just say Bridget Ashwood left Haid, and I then saw the artwork the way it should actually be, the way that Bridget Ashwood actually made it, and Pain-Free Crafts drafted it for the pattern, and I saw that and I just knew that I was so much checking and trying to figure it out, could this still work, and this is the first time that I've stitched more on a project than Sarah has, and it's all for nothing. We decided to go with the Pain-Free Crafts. They don't have minis and large, they have cropped version and a large version. So we're both going with the large version. And oh, I've lost the bottom of a needle minder. That wasn't very clever. Yeah, so this is where I am at the moment. So this is Tea and Books. We're both doing the same size. That's why this is sort of a massive tablecloth. This is just my start. She started the same day as me. We have about the same amount stitched on it. I think, no, I won't put in what it should look like. I'll show you probably next time, because you can't really see very much on it, so I just leave it as is. But that was such that was a real downer, and it was, yeah. People did still tell me keep going. It will look good, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it after I saw the mock-up artwork and the mock-up artwork, and it's just worlds division. Yeah, just couldn't do it. So let's see, that was, I showed yeah, I had another start, but somebody said if you don't have more than 100 stitches in, that's not really a start. It has about 150 stitches in it, but it's 150 black stitches on red, so I'm not going to show that. But what I have is, let's see, yeah, I've framed 2 of my pieces. No, I've professionally let 2 pieces be framed. One of them is Poppy, and I finished Poppy in 2017, and I got her framed, professionally framed, and it's museum's glass, and it's gold leaf that is on the frame. I'm sorry, but it's, even though it's museum's glass, the light is not good enough. But so it's quite a wide frame, as you can see. She's got spaces in there because there are beads, and I just had her slapped in a frame, in an IKEA frame, with the rest of the fabric just hanging out the back. So when I finished the other piece that I'm going to show, I decided that this needs professional framing, and so I got this framed. And she said she could change this to just have the same colour as, because it's not white, it's a sort of slightly pinkish ecru colour, which you could paint the sides. I could bring it back, she would do that for no money, but I'm happy with what I got. But this is, when I finished this, and this was something that Stitching Mummy was stitching, and she started this ages ago, and we then modified it, took out the girl, and then I started stitching on mine, and I finished mine, and I knew that this has to be framed, and I am so happy that I did. This is just, it's lavender and lace, the alphabet, and there's a girl in there, sort of there, and the bunny is further over there, and the P was there, so the P had to move up to there. So yeah, there should be patches of grass with flowers, but I decided to leave them off because there's this butterfly there, and that has, I think, always only 2 stitches of one colour. I don't know how many colours are in there, about 45 colours in that butterfly. Nearly killed me. So, and this is not a variegated floss, this is old DMC. But by leaving out the little girl, I really love this alphabet. It's beautiful. And this frame really, it's just absolutely perfect. When I saw this the first time, and I had to, I got the foam board, and I couldn't lace it. There was not enough fabric for me to lace it. I had to pin it, and yeah, but then getting it back, it is just, this is amazing. And yes, I also got one of my Nora Corbett paintings framed professionally, and it is so well done. I would love to show you, but I can't get it on screen, so sorry you can't see it. And I think that is all my whips and finishes for 2024. And I'm sorry it was a long video. I should now also film the German one, but it's getting late. I need to have supper and then I'm joining the Stitch and chat across the pond, which I'm really looking forward to. So I guess I'll film the German one tomorrow. Or I don't. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're still here, please join the giveaway. Let me know what I stitched from the Prairie School of Santa Rides chart with what I stitched with Sally as a SAL, and you enter the giveaway. I'll leave it open until I film again. I don't know when that'll be. So Happy New Year, happy stitching, and there's still spaces for StitchBasel 2025, and otherwise there's still waitlist places, because I'm pretty sure that people will leave and the waitlist will open up, so you have a chance of getting in. That's it from me. Happy crafting. Oh no, I wanted to quickly say thank you very much, Sally, for I got that to my friend Sally, Stitching Sally, on Instagram and on Flosstube. I got Shelly made me the mouse, the cracker mouse, and it's on a spool. You can't see that, and that was made by Shelly years ago for me. And all these things were made for me or gifted to me, so that stays up all year, and it's amazing. And this is the actual stitch, the actual model stitch from the Snowflower Diaries for this piece, and I bought it off her in StitchBasel 2023. I wanted a different piece which she wouldn't part with, and I understand that, but I got this one, and she said, but the frame is just, you know, a junk frame, and I said, I don't care, but this is something I really love. I wouldn't stitch it for myself, but of course I bought the pattern for Sally. I mean, you know, because Sally and sheep. So yeah. Okay, that's it from me. Happy stitching and thank you for watching. Bye.